I know Songezo as really one of the most thoughtful journalists that we've ever had in our group. It's been a fantastic pleasure and privilege working with Songezo. He has one major personality flaw, and he's just got this boundless energy.
Songezo is really an amazing person. I run a non-profit called Youth Lab, and he approached us and asked us what Youth Lab was about. We've been struggling to articulate to people that we want young people to think. Songezo saw that this thing had potential. He gave us his time and he listened to us and he helped us.
Writing a book is very, very taxing. I discovered it wasn't as easy as I thought. My family put up with me being absent, being grumpy, forgetting things. One of the things I was very careful not to do is not to upset people so much. They don't hear the message in the book. I love my country. I think about it all the time. Every time I'm not doing anything, I'm thinking about my country or my family. But let me get to the reason why I wrote this book. The first is that I got frustrated with the level of discourse in South Africa, about South Africa and the continent. The second thing was our discussion, our political discussion about social issues. I felt it does not do the necessary and very critical task of linking the dots between the social, the political, the economic, the ethical, in order to better tackle the very many challenges that we have at the moment, and to exploit the very many opportunities that we have, and many more opportunities that we could have in the future. The Constitution for me, the non-racialism, the non-sexism, and all the non-isms that we say we are, unfortunately they say what we are not. They do not say what we are. They don't say what we need to be. And this book is about identifying that ethical center, identifying the values that need to inform a new nationhood, because right now we are a country which is a conglomeration of special interests. We're not a nation. We're divided. We fight a lot. We contradict each other often, which is not necessarily a bad thing. But the reason we get nowhere is because we lack an ethical center. Because of that, we contradict ourselves sometimes in this way. We have, and I've said this often and I'll say it as many times as possible, for instance, relegated the struggle for equality of women to the struggle against racism. They are the same thing. Everybody who disadvantages, creates a glass ceiling, marginalizes a person because they are a woman or because they are gay, they're doing the same thing that racists are doing. It is prejudice. You're hating somebody for who and what they are. If we cannot shine a mirror on ourselves and ask why it is that we think like this, why is it that the same things fundamentally and philosophically that we rail against when we talk about racism, we turn around and we do them. We don't talk about how black men also put further disadvantage on black women because we oppress them. We cannot claim the moral high ground in fighting against racism when the other forms of discrimination we support in the name of religion, in the name of tradition, and every other excuse that we can think of. That kind of ethos is what is missing in our discussion. It's what is missing in our country. We never ask ourselves fundamentally, why is it that those who are in positions of power, be it in government or outside, do not fear and respect us enough not to do the things they do, and then brazen it out and tell us that we're overreacting. The third is that we need to free ourselves from all of these isms that we've become prisoner to. You're either a capitalist, either capitalism is the answer or socialism. I don't expect that you will agree with everything. In fact, I'd be happy if there are many, many things that all of you disagree with, because the quality of the discussion is what matters more to me, and hopefully out of that we can start having a more meaningful conversation about what our country needs to be. I have been saddened and angered and disappointed many, many times because we have allowed ourselves to fall victim to the cult of personality throughout the African continent. If we cannot think up solutions for ourselves and hold people accountable and take decisions to lead, we shall always be these people who blame conspiracy, who point at other people and don't take responsibility for our own destiny.